Everybody, Ken and Kitsune here, and I wanted to do this type of video because if anyone remembered when I used to do videos with Raiju05, I'm sorry I haven't watched your videos. It's just live streaming's weird, and I watch YouTube on my phone. But anyway, I talked about how I hated Seto Kaiba from Yu-Gi-Oh, and I never justified why I hated that character. So, while I do realize that there are other characters that are just as bad, if not worse, than Kaiba, and I can understand his background, I'm going to give you 3 reasons, bronze, silver, gold, why I really hate Kaiba. And if you like this, leave a like down below, unless you're a Seto Kaiba fan, in which case, no, I don't like him. Number 1. I don't like Kaiba because he has an unfair advantage. What do you mean by that? Well, in the anime, it states that there are only 4 blue-eyes white dragons. Kaiba has 3 of them, but Yugi's grandpa has 1, which he got from his friend as a gift. He got it from his best friend, and you know, when you only make 4 blue eyes and you only make like 1 of each of the Egyptian god cards, it kind of makes the game unplayable, because how am I supposed to handle a monster that requires 2 tributes, has 3,000 attack, and at the time there was really no other monsters that can counter it unless you use an effect monster, in which case Man-Eater Bug would kill it, unless you made the whole, oh, blue eyes is too big for blah blah blah, because they did that in the anime all the time. Number 2, he's not really good with his money. Now you may think, well, he has a multi-million-dollar gaming company. Well, if you remember, his stepdad was a military company, and when he took over Kaiba Corp, he turned it into gaming. And may I remind you that Seto Kaiba is the same guy who has a Blue Eyes White Dragon jet. A jet that looks like a card that he probably plays Tea Party with. Oh yes, I love my Blue Eyes. I name them Fluffy, Mr. Pickles, and Greg. I don't like Greg as much, but I still love all my Blue Eyes. And now it goes to the number 3 reason, and the important reason why I don't like Kaiba, is how he treats the main characters. If you notice how he treats I know it's obvious he doesn't treat Joey well, but he also doesn't treat Yugi well. Let me explain. You see, with Joey, he makes fun of the fact that Joey's deck sucks, and even though he knows that Joey can't afford expensive cards, because cards back then were like 50, like Mirror Force was like 50, and you know, Joey states that he needed the money from Duelist Kingdom to pay for his sister's operation, so he even had a newspaper route as a job. But Kaiba makes fun of him for being poor, and that's just like how rich people be like, well, why don't you go jet skiing? I'm like, because I can't afford jet skiing. Ha ha, you can't afford a jet ski. I'm like, why are you making fun of me for something I have no choice? But how he treated Yugi was, you can see in the first episode. Kaiba mugs Yugi's grandpa, beats him up to the point where he has to go to the hospital, and then rips his prized blue eyes in half like this. And in another instance, we go to the fact that in Duelist Kingdom, when Yugi dueled when Kaiba dueled Yugi, he basically threatened suicide, be like, hey, if you don't let me win this duel, I'm gonna kill myself. Granted, he was trying to save his brother Mokuba, but who else didn't have a reason? I mean, Joey needed this money to so his sister wouldn't go blind. Yugi had to save his grandpa, whose soul was abducted by Pegasus. Even Mako Tsunami wanted to go to the ocean, where his father died. His father died. People have reasons to win a tournament. Doesn't mean you have the right to commit or threaten to commit suicide just because you're losing a children's card game. I mean, if I went to my locals, put a gun to my head, and be like, hey, if you don't let me win, I'm going to blow my brains out, they're going to be like, oh, I don't believe you. And They'd probably call the cops, and then I'd be end up in a mental hospital. But I would never do that. I'm just making an example. See, just because I make an example doesn't mean I'm going to do it. But anyway, the last thing is, Kaiba never realizes, okay, maybe there's a reason Yugi doesn't like me. But Kaiba always acts like Yugi did him wrong because he beat him at a children's card game. Oh, my life's ruined. I lost a children's card game to a random kid. My life is over. Even though I beat up his grandpa and ripped his prize Blue Eyes White Dragon, and he probably can't afford the hospital bill, so he probably has to sell his game shop and be bankrupt forever. So yes, those are the 3 reasons I don't like Seto Kaiba. The last one was a bit longer, and there are probably other reasons I could think of I don't like Seto Kaiba or hate Seto Kaiba, but those are the main ones. What do you think about Seto Kaiba? Put it in the comments section below, and if you like this, if you want to, give me a thumbs up. And as always, bye bye.